That Mercedes-AMG charges $230,495 for the 12-chamber S65 vehicle isn't unimportant. It is the point. It is the most cash you can spend on a S-Class vehicle, the Mercedes-Maybach Pullman limousine rejected. This AMG show costs $30,800 more than even the Maybach-badged S650, utilizing a similar V12 motor, and $82,000 more than the 8-chamber Mercedes-AMG S63. To a chosen few, considering both of those deal S-Class vehicles speaks to unsuitably little reasoning. It is for them that AMG constructs the S65. The S65 station at the leader of the S-Class family has been okay for a considerable length of time, and not even an obvious absence of significant changes for the 2018 model year undermines that. Each and every other S-Class this year is refreshed with new 6 and 8-chamber motors, another 9-speed programmed transmission, enhanced driver help frameworks, and somewhat rubbed headlights, taillights, and guards. Just the well-being tech and corrective changes stream up to the S65. Helping the vehicle dodge mechanical upgrade is its characterizing highlight, a twin-turbocharged 6.0-liter V12 motor that remain in parts too torquey for the carmaker's 4MATIC all-wheel drive framework and its more current transmissions. In AMG pretends, the 12 belts out a compelling 621 strength and 738 pounds-to-foot of torque, which evidently can be taken care of just by great antiquated back-wheel drive and a maturing 7-speed programmed transmission. In this way, the S65's energy incomprehensibly adds to it being somewhat less brisk in our speeding up tests with respect to the less strong S63 vehicle. Managing without the V8 model's all-wheel drive footing and dispatch control framework, the S65 trails the S63 to 60 miles per hour by 0.7 seconds and by a comparable edge to each 10 mph augment past that. All things considered, sending 5,053 pounds of metal, calfskin, and inner self to 60 miles per hour in only 3.9 seconds with just 2 driven wheels is noteworthy, such as watching an engorged platypus finish in American Ninja Warrior course. There's something imploringly Epicurean in the idea that you pay more for a S-Class that is slower than the S63. Or on the other hand, one can center around the delightfully noble manner by which the S65 takes a beat to recline on its rear tires, turbos spooling up, before it moves you back in your seat against a tide of relentless, train-like push. The nervous S63 pummels forward savagely while quickening with flurry, albeit once in progress the two AMGs are similarly snappy, with each presenting indistinguishable 30 on 50 mph and 50 to 70 mph passing circumstances, 2.5 and 3.1 seconds, individually. Soaring around isn't even important to all spectators with a S65. Simply stop it and let the motor's legitimate chatter indicate your total assets. Rather than the S63's double mode debilitate, the S65 has a solitary, dependably on noisy setting that barks each time you pull far from a stop, and the V12 makes a sound as if to speak. The visit is kept sophisticated inside the very much protected lodge, in spite of the fact that you're generally definitely mindful that the motor is, actually, running a criticism circle that reminds you this is an AMG execution variation. A short-lived delay pervades the S65's different moves, as well. While we wouldn't portray it as slop, there's some underlying squishy, delicate protection when squeezing the brake pedal to impel our test auto's $8,950 carbon artistic fasteners, which smothers any grabbiness or excessively enthusiastic reactions. The blur-safe rotors likewise pulled the S65 to a prevent from 70 miles per hour in 156 feet, 3 feet shorter than the S63. Steer the Mercedes off the straight and thin, and it tenderly inclined onto its outside tires, previously taking a set. The wisp of slack in the S65's controls gives the driver the impression of controlling more heave and substance over the street than S63 driver charges. Nothing this side of a Bentley or a Rolls-Royce moves with such pride, despite the fact that it is only cunning tuning. The S63 handles with more prominent accuracy, yet measures 10 pounds increasingly and arranges a somewhat more prominent level of its mass over its front hub. This S65 created a Games Auto-like 0.94 grams of grasp on our skid pad, an immaterial 0.01 gram change on the V8 model's execution. Almost as superfluous as that capacity is the standard magic body control with the carmaker's curve work, which utilizes actuators to tilt the S65's body around 2.5 degrees toward within a turn. Given that the vibe of viewing the three-pointed star hood adornment plunge a similar way your directing doesn't make you sick, we assume it reduces tenants inclining through corners. Be that as it may, along these lines, as well, do the front seats dynamic reinforces, which expand contrary to cornering powers to unfaltering bodies in the lodge. In light of legitimate concern for meticulousness, we tried whether the seats may blow up the internal support amid a turn with the curve work enacted to contradict your cruiser lean toward the bend, yet no. Pay no psyche to the inside being to a great extent imparted to lesser S-classes. Mercedes plans even the base, $90,895 S450's inside to be a cut so high over that it stands up in this S65 that costs more than twice to such an extent. 4 years after the present S-Class went at a bargain, its lodge still dazes. The S65's just redesigns another directing haggle completely glassed-in match of 12.3-inch shows are imparted to all other 2018 S-Class models. One bugaboo that may matter just to egotists focuses on the combine of backseat remote controls for the showcases mounted to each front headrest, which are controlled by ordinary AAA batteries. Things being what they are, we'd have to drive to Best Buy or pay somebody to buy expendable batteries occasionally. Where's the remote charging cushion and worked-in lithium particle control source, Mercedes? The mentally delicate may improve the situation than Mercedes did optioning our test auto, which missed the mark concerning $250,000. Since when ordinary citizens ask what amount is that? In Best Buy parking garages while you're refilling your backseat remote batteries. Replying $240,795 welcomes follow-up inquiries. It's best to incline toward the short braggadocio of $250,000, pompously articulating each syllable, and withdraw rapidly to your 621 horsepower Volt and its rubbing seats. Mercedes offers a lot of expensive choices past those on our test auto: $800 Designo piano dark inside trim, $8,950 carbon-fired brakes, and a $550 of warmed windshield, to make up the expository whole. Not to soften the S65 down to too little a gold piece, yet it lives to be compressed in brief, boaster expressions. It inclines its body into turns for your solace. It has the most effective motor in the S-Class family, and it is the most costly S-Class car. For the individuals who welcome that so superlative a vehicle arrives in a wrapper more unpretentious than those of the Bentley Flying Spur and the Rolls-Royce Ghost, it's ideal.